Hey guys, what's up? I'm Alex. This is MTV Cribs. Come on in. This is the Haus. This is where I live as of right now.
Zach's here.
There's Zach over there. I live in the basement. This is where I live. Landon's permanently a fixture. I pay him about $5 an hour to just play guitar. I don't have many things, and that makes me very happy.
It's like you got a good feng shui going on here.
This is the studio where I spend most of my time. And yeah, this is it.
Hey everybody, I am Lars, and this is my friend Alex.
Hi.
Alex produced the song Pop Game and co-wrote it with myself. When did this first come about? Like, when did we write this song?
I think it was at least over a year ago that we kind of set it up. We found that piano loop, and we just had some drums and bass over the top.
Yeah.
And I remember we kind of sat and co-wrote it together that day, and we just knocked it out.
It was quick, and it was it the first, or I think it was the first thing we wrote together.
Yeah, I think it was the first thing we wrote.
Wow.
So.
It was a good start to this relationship. Alex now lives with us in Hudson. We are in the basement of the Haus. Zach and I once lived in this exact room. Welcome. Where Alex now has his control room, which we're sitting in. So that's pretty cool. It's basically in the band.
Basically the fifth.
The fifth member?
Yeah,
do you want to be in the band?
Not really.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, I don't know who had the idea, but we had the idea to kind of bring it to the next level because it was just piano, drums, and
Bass
pretty much, which is a cool vibe. And vocals at that time.
And vocals,
then we had our friend DeCarlo, who's an amazing trumpet player from Minneapolis. Come in and he just freestyled from front to back, over the top. And we just did a few takes through that. At the end of it, I just went through and kind of stitched together parts I liked and where like Lars wasn't singing or anything like that. And the trumpet totally just brought the song like next level.
Elevated it.
And then we're like, oh, like this could actually be the real deal. And, then we sat on that for a long time too. And now we're here.
That was a cool session because we all the two of us just kind of sat there and let DeCarlo just literally
do his thing.
So many passes. I think we did like 5 or 6 passes of the whole song.
Yeah.
And he just basically freestyle interpreted it every time.
And really the only like curated part for that was the pre-chorus when he's like bum 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 bum, those holdouts. But other than that, like go DeCarlo.
Yep. We just sat back and pressed record.
Yeah, it's like you can't tell a musician like that like what to do.
That was a really fun session.
Yeah, it was. And I think that's the first time you met DeCarlo, too.
It was the first time I met DeCarlo.
Yeah.
The beginning of our friendship with him. And he actually has turned out to be a really fun part of this song, even in the music video for it, which maybe you've seen by now. You should check it out. And Alex was also in the music video as the bartender.
Got my 10 seconds.
So everybody who had a part in making this tune is featured in that video. Look at Landon in here just writing a hit.
I'm just singing Alicia Keys.
Alright, so just some dudes sitting here. We're going to talk about behind the scenes. Alright, so Zach, what's your name?
Zachary Kurt Moyle Beinlich.
Do you have 2 middle names?
Yeah, don't.
Sweet. Let's go back in time, Zach.
Alright.
It's 2019.
God, I wish.
What is the first time you heard about the song known as Pop Game?
I was actually walking out of Urban Jungle, which is a shoe, like vintage clothing store in Minneapolis, and you sent me a text, I think, that with like a rough in it, and like, oh, Alex and I worked on this song, check it out. We were on the way to a gig actually, to like watch that first half. And you're like, here, check the song out. I don't think you like it, I rap. And I was like, good God. I was so bummed. I was like, if you're rapping, I'm gonna hate this song. But then when I heard it, like I didn't see it as like I heard you singing. Like it wasn't rapping, it was singing. So like and right away I loved it. It was like I thought it was great.
Woo! Yeah. All right, Jake Felstow, what's your name?
Hello, I'm Jack. I'm Jake Felstow. I live in Minnesota.
You moved, so you don't live in the Haus anymore?
No, I no longer live in the Haus, but that's okay.
You live in St. Paul?
I do. I'm in St. Paul now. I'm
What's your
even
address?
closer to like the Twin Cities because we
What's
say
your
we're
address?
Twin Cities band. I live at
6969 Butthead Road.
St. Paul, Minnesota 55118.
So, Jake, what was your first run-in with the song Pop Game?
First run-in, I know you were doing a little writing sesh with Alex Kimball, and I remember getting the demo in the car. I was driving in Hudson, and it was that and like one other song. And I listened to Pop Game, and I was like, wow, this is so different from anything we've done. It's almost like you're rapping. And I heard that, and honestly, I was not into it at first. I didn't really like it. It sounded like we were trying to do something that maybe wasn't us. But I still thought it was cool. I thought, okay, there's some catchy elements. Maybe it could work. And I remember the other tune, which we haven't really talked about in months.
What's it called?
Time Bomb.
Slipping away, and it looks like you're a time bomb now.
That was the other one that was sent to the exact same time, and that one actually stuck out to me more at the
Are we gonna
time.
put that one out?
We may put it out. Who knows?
Should we?
Stay tuned. I remember I went back to the Yam House, and Zach was like, hey, did you check out that new demo Lawrence sent over? I was like, yeah. And he was whistling the melody, the chorus melody. Dun, 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 you know, that thing.
Do you know how to whistle or?
Yeah, whistle.
Speaking of whistling, anyways, so he was whistling the melody, and just hearing it through someone else's lens also made me realize this is a catchier melody than I think I gave it.
So you wanna play the pop game,
credit
said you
for.
never will
Initially, I was like, this is
but
pretty
I
catchy.
don't believe you. No, I don't.
You look like a little person.
Oh, like my waist.
You look like you have really big shoes and you have really short legs.
It'd be cool if you're like this.
Yeah, that's better.
Honestly, you won't be surprised that I have a bad memory. I couldn't tell you the first time I heard it.
Next question.
I don't know.
You're asking some hard questions. I do remember hearing it in the garage, and I remember you two were like falling in love with it.
Who's you two?
Zach and Lawrence. I feel like I heard it later in the game, and it's one of those things. It's weird because the more that someone else likes a song, it's generally contagious that you also like a certain song or a certain demo. I feel like by the time I heard it, I was like, oh, this is good because it's lived a short life and it's proven itself to be good over at least a couple weeks. Sometimes demos just get written and the next day you're like, I never want to hear that song again. But Pop Game had a solid lifespan all the way through for a whole year until it came out, which is kind of nice.
What would you say that the song, for you as a face of Yam House, as somebody who has to embody it, what would you say it means to you?
Pop Game is probably the most honest and specific song to Yam House. I feel like generally we try to write songs that can be approached by a lot of different people coming from a lot of different places.
Feels like we're making music now more to where we are as a band versus like us writing stadium anthem songs when we're playing for my mom and my dad in our basement at our house, which happened.
What does it mean to you?
It's a good question, Lars.
Thanks.
Since you wrote the lyrics to this tune, I think you do a good job of capturing kind of where we're at as a band mentally and kind of what stage are we in, evaluating, you know, what's happening right now in our career, in this time, and where are we going. And I think this song did just that.
It's hard to be a pop artist in 2020.
We have all these people pouring into, you know, what we should do. Like, oh, you gotta just write the hit. You gotta write the pop song, like get on with, you know, big LA producer. I think it related to exactly where we were a year ago, but strangely enough to where we are right now because not a lot has changed since a year ago.
Because the world's ending?
Yeah, that's right.
This is a good apocalypse song.
A little bit, yeah. But yet it sounds hopeful. It sounds hopeful because it's posing that question, but it's almost like we're not going to give up no matter what it really looks like.
I'm really proud of us that we're still going for like the coup de grace. Like we want a massive hit, and it's funny to like be 3.5 years in, saying the same things and making different music than what you did like day one.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is like not being afraid to explore whatever we're inspired by in the moment. You know, I think we can get capped really easily if we say, hey, this is what Yam House sounds like as a band, and we kind of have to stick to that. But it's nice and freeing when you can just explore whatever gets you excited.
Awesome. Great work, man.
Thanks. You too.
Last question. What band does the drummer Questlove play in?
Jimmy Fallon?
Not wrong. He's not wrong.
Last question. When did you get hired as an extra in The Life Aquatic?
Ooh. That's a good burn, but also I'll take that because I like that movie a lot.
I do too. I forgot to ask you,
Yeah,
Jake,
yeah.
what do you think of the word squad?
Yeah. It makes me think about like basketball, like you're playing basketball with your friends, you're like, squad. I was like, sure, we don't use that term all the time. We're not like, hey, squad up, guys.
Tell the whole squad out the back door, man, I think it's time to huddle.